Welcome back to PYJynJoy, Messages from the Divine. This is Charmaine, your holistic life coach, coming to you with a message for the collective. Before we get started, let's cleanse the energy of the space and see what message the Divine has for us today. So, Divine, what message do you have for the collective today? Divine, what message do you have for the collective today? Divine, what message do you have for the collective today? Splitting the deck, let's see what we get. And it is Five of Pentacles and the Chariot. So opposites here. So we have Five of Pentacles. Five is all about change. You see they're outside of a building, and it always reminds me of a church because of the stained glass. I have a friend that makes stained glass since we were in college. So it's always a nice reminder. But they're in the cold. It's snowing. They're huddled up and they're trying to get away. So it could very well be that you're going through some financial difficulty at this time, or not in your home, something along these lines. And we'll go further. But with the Chariot, it is also the number 7. So 7 is your inner wisdom, spirituality, your insight. And this is the Chariot where you're successful, you're triumphant. You see, she has a wand in her hand that's going to help her to be conjuring up whatever spells and magic that she needs to make her successful, and balanced by the two sphinxes, black and white. So opposites again, balancing there, and on a motorcycle. So it's like full speed ahead type of success. So, and then 7 and 5 is 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3, which is all about expansion, self-sacrifice. So let's see, what does this mean, collective? I'm sorry, divine, what does this mean for the collective? And as I'm doing the reading, it may or may not resonate with you. Take from it what does, and try to see what's happening in your life. Since we're not doing a one-on-one, I'm not there to find out more information from you as I pull the cards. So you have to do that yourself. You can always go to PYJynJoy and book a one-on-one with me as well. So we'll do a 5-card spread, starting with your immediate past. It's the High Priestess that I love this card. And you have a crescent moon there, and she's again black and white, coming up again, just like the Chariot. So this time, instead of riding on a motorcycle, she's sitting on a little tuffet with her computer, and she's a modern day high priestess. So she's online and doing the things, but behind her is the veil. So she is the protector of what's beyond the veil, the realm of the unknown, the realm and access to the universe, divine. So you need to tap into your high priestess. So this is what's coming up, and it's 2, again, 2 for balance, like the columns, just like the sphinxes. So that's the immediate past. So begin thinking of what's happened in like the past month or so in your life that reminds you of being a high priestess, which would be someone who is very insightful, who has a lot of wisdom, who has the direct connection to the divine. Now, your present right now is Knight of Wands, so charging in. So instead of a motorcycle now, you're on a horse that's a palomino. I love palominos. Remember as a kid, I had a Barbie palomino horse. So the horse is reared up on its hind legs and is ready to take off. But you're in control. You have the control of the reins and how they will proceed. So with the wands, it's all about your fire, your passion, your drive. And you see the horse is very excited. You're leaned up in your seat. You're ready to charge ahead. So that's where you are presently. Let's see what the immediate future holds. And that is 3 of Pentacles. So we have the Pentacles that are all about your money, your base, your foundation, prosperity. And in this case, is 3. So 3, like we had in the beginning of 3, it's about your expansion. And seeing here that you're an apprentice, learning from an elder who is teaching you how to paint, sketch, draw, what have you, of the model. So it's the beginnings of you taking on a new career path, perhaps. So now in the distant past, we have 7 of Pentacles. So this time you are inside of a warm house, like a hot house for your plants that are very lush and abundant. There's 3 different ones, and you're admiring them. So there's a lot of money. Again, 7, like we had before, 7 is all about your insights. Remember the Chariot? It's all about your insight as well as your inner wisdom, your ability to connect again with the divine. Now, your distant future is 10 of Wands. So back to Wands, 10, 1 is new beginnings. So you're pushing ahead, walking by faith, not by sight, not letting the burdens that you may have on your shoulders stop you, delay you. You are moving forward, just like with the chariot. She moved forward successfully. So you will have that success. So let's see what this all comes about to be. So we have 10 and 10, 20. And the high priestess is 2, so 22. 22 is a master number, so that's again a lot of with the duality, so like doubling up on the duality for you and the balance. um, and let's see, so we'll go to the distant past to see what this is about, but it looks like it is going to be a business or career. So remember in the beginning with the 5 of Pentacles, it was a change perhaps in the income that's generated, and but you still have the success of the chariot and moving ahead. So you may have had like a bit of a bump, because let's see, with the distant past, divine, what can you tell us about that? They had the monies was flowing. So how does that relate to out being out in the cold? What can you tell us about this distant past for the collective? 3 of Cups. So 3, again, 3 keeps coming up. There's now the third time for 3. And the 3 women are having their goblets raised in a cheer. They're very excited. They're toasting one another in a campground. So that's interesting. There must be glamping, going on a glamorous camping trip. And 3, like we said before, is about that expansion. So with this, they are celebratory. So again, with you looking at this money and having this abundance of these lush plants, it's a warm home. So we can look at the contrast of being out in the snow and cold and bundled up to having been inside of a warm hothouse with plants and then celebrating. So how, again, tell us some more. So there was something that you were very successful. Obviously, there was a celebration and it went from 3 people to 2. So tell us some more, divine. What does that all mean for the collective? Well, Ace of Wands. Ace is 1, new beginnings, just like we had 10 before. So it's all about your creativity, your passion, again, that drive. You're really in control of it all. You're like the master of it, in the ability to conjure, high priestess, to conjure up these very creative, fantastical types of things that will help you. So you have a lot of wands, three again, 3 wands that are in the reading. So it really, so far, it looks as though it may not necessarily that you have lost money or anything, because it's also 3 is also, it's all about your enthusiasm, union, coming together. Remember the 3 girls together, coming together here. So it really is something that you can see that it may not necessarily be that you were out in the cold. It was perhaps a change, something changing. So tell us now, with the immediate past, now the level up to the high priestess. Tell us, what does that mean for the collective, divine? What do we need to know about the high priestess? A lot of wands. Now is number 4. And Page of Wands is a page is someone who's less experienced. So beginning to understanding. So you have the one of all in control of the wands to now where it's at the beginning. So it may be that someone else is coming in, that's someone that's new. Perhaps you're mentoring someone in a career and at work. That's obviously a very creative type of place, because even with the money, you're an artist. So this is for someone who is very creative and has the ability to make beautiful things. Because of all of this of wands involved with you, it really shows that you have a really, maybe you're famous for being an artist. So with the page, you are now helping others, because remember the high priestess, so you know more, you're more aware, all knowing, and now you're able to pass that on to someone else. So perhaps that second person that was in the first card is the person that you're helping to maybe bring them out of the cold. That could be very well what it is, that you're leading them to a more prosperous life, to be able to have that money for them and use their creativity to get more. So let's see. Tell us some more about this the immediate past, divine. Tell us some more about that, where there's a new person that's come in that the collective is mentoring and helping them to hone their artistic abilities. Tell us some more about that immediate past. And we have 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, so now it's showing 8 is all about abundance, it's prosperity, it's strength. And here, going from being an apprentice, where you're learning, to now being in total control of your work. You're doing so well with it now that you're able to pop it out quickly. And again, look, it's a modern type of person, and she's sitting there with a little, instead of a traditional like canvas and brush, she has her computer, and then on the screen, she's writing on it with a little stylus. So it's showing where the progression of helping, and or rather not helping, of honing that craft, and that's how you're helping the other person to come along. So you could very well be like, you know, a manager or a supervisor, or but it's really in the creative realm. Maybe you work in advertising or something. You always think of an admin, and maybe that's what it is. So think about what your craft is and how it's so very much creative that you're able to help others, because you're really at the pinnacle of your creativity. So you're now able to pass it on and help others to reach their full potential. So now tell us about this present situation, Divine. The knight charging in like Sir Galahad, ready to help. So tell us some more about that the collective is doing. Well, we have Nine of Swords. So there is a lot of mental going on. Nine is completions, the end of a chapter. So there's something that's keeping you up at night. So it could be where the person that you're helping, they are maybe not doing as well as you would want them to. So it's bothering you, because remember, as creative types, and I used to do art and such, and I write. It's things can really get to you more. I don't want to say you're more sensitive, but you're more sensitive, I'm going to just say it, to things. And it could be that it's not going so well with the person, because that's the end of a chapter, it's a closing off. So let's ask some more. So tell us, Divine, what is this sleepless nights, staying up, mind is not at ease, it's not restful? Tell us some more about this present state for the collective. Well, Four of Wands, so many wands. And four is all about the foundation. So with that, the foundation, and again, the two people, so you're helping someone go forward into their, like approaching their creativity with the four wands, and it has the bow above it of flowers. So it could be that you are trying to help them and building their foundation, and it's just going a bit rougher than that you thought, because it's something where you can only do so much for someone, and they have to take it the rest of the way. So don't get yourself in too upset if it's not going to plan. And again, thing with like the knight charging in, things are moving quickly. So just like with the chariot moving quickly, so it just because it's moving quickly doesn't mean that it's necessarily the right way. Take your time with it, so that you're making sure that the person is getting all of the necessary training that they need, because it's showing here that they are going to be successful. You're getting that foundation, and it's back to this apprenticeship. So maybe even you're perhaps an art professor or someone who is helping people to, like students wise, because Paige is a student. So you could be a professor of art, of the arts, and helping people to reach their full potential as an artist. And it's just something that you're very passionate about, so it can keep you up at night if your students aren't doing well. So let's see what else you can tell us now about the immediate future. Divine, what can you tell us about the immediate future for the collective? And now drop in the comments also how this is resonating with you, so I can get an idea of if this is making sense to you. And if you have questions, drop those in the comments too. I'm happy to answer. I always check every day to see what people may say. So we have King of Swords. So this, you're in control of your emotions again, because look, you went back to helping the people, getting a clearer perspective of things, understanding that things are moving quickly, but get that base, get that foundation going. So with the King of Swords, your mental is back under control. You're more um, even minded, and also very clear. You have cleared away what no longer serves you, and it's letting you be more objective and in control. And you can see too where there's the butterflies on the throne. So butterflies are always about transformation. And that's what you do when you're mentoring someone, is you're helping them to transform into their best, like a little butterfly goes from being a caterpillar into the chrysalis and then emerges as these beautiful butterflies. So that's what you're helping. And then even the birds, you're helping them because then they can fly off and do their thing. So tell us some more about this immediate future, divine. Now that the collective is in control of their emotions, they've pulled it back and realized that they need to take a little more time with the people, with the students. Tell us some more about that. Ace of Cups. Again, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, 1. So it's all about the love that you have for the arts that you're creating, the students that you have, and it's just overflowing. It's very spiritual for you too, because it's something that is creation. So when you're painting or you're a sculptor or a printmaker, whatever it is that you do, it's where you are creating. So you are co-creating with the divine in making these beautiful things and helping others to do the same. So your love and your passion is with it. Your emotions are very tied into it as well. And you can see that it's like little tears of joy. So instead of now you're like covering your eyes like, oh God, I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. Now it's all about having that and one again, new beginnings. So it's all about your emotions are tied in nicely and things are moving more smoothly. So let's move to the distant future, where it is the wands, 10 of them, still new beginnings, but it's a lot. And you're moving forward still, like you're trudging ahead despite whatever burdens that you may have. Maybe there's budget cuts at the school or something, but let's see what that means for the collective. Justice. So justice, and that is number 11. 11 is a match number 2. So that is doubling up 10, like new beginnings, and balance. So that's part of this. You have to balance everything that you're doing. Remember, even with the high priestess, the two columns, or rather the two sphinxes that were with the chariot in the beginning. So now we're back to 2. Again, it's really showing you that you need to balance. And also in the case of justice, be very fair in making decisions. So as you are looking and critiquing the students, be very fair and very mindful of how you speak to them. Keep a balance. So even here you have the sword, just like the king is sitting on his throne, and with the sword in hand, sword in here, with the justice, and then but the other hand has the scales. So you want to keep your mental still in control, just like the king, and use the balance all these twos, use the balance of the scales of justice when you are critiquing and the way in which you speak to them. Be very constructive criticism instead of harsh, because a lot of times people can have egos that get in the way and they will say things that are very blunt. It reminds me of that chef guy that he's always yelling at his people in his kitchen, and I think that's just too much. It's just Gordon Ramsay, yes, it's just too much. There's a way that you can work with people instead of screaming. So that's the thing that you want to keep in mind too. So as you are reviewing and judging the works that these students that you're working with are doing, be very mindful of the way in which you speak with them and keep it balanced. So now tell us about one more card for the distant future divine. What more can you tell us about this burden of carrying all of these wands, all of this creativity, helping? Maybe you have multiple classes that you are working on, like being a teacher of multiple classes in the semester. What more can you say? Now we have Page of Cups, just like we had the Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, now Ace of Cups, Page of Cups. And it's really looking in, like self-reflection. So you see the little fish, she's looking at the fish, he's looking at her. So it's really getting you to reflect on what you're doing. And maybe it's something where, because your emotions are fine, so maybe it's something where you, after carrying so many courses, or classes rather, you have to reassess what you want to do and how you're going to do it. Because at the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of swords. So you see, she's carried what she can. Again, remember, look how she has 10. Well, this is 7, and she's carrying 5 because she's cutting away what no longer serves her. So you may be overworked in the distant future with too many classes that you're overseeing. So that way, cut off the ones that you don't necessarily need to do. Check the enrollment. Is it enough students? If not, then let it go. because you don't want to overburden yourself, and that will keep you from being at your best. So that is at the bottom. And we also have 9 of Pentacles, just like we had in the beginning the of 7 of Pentacles. Now we have the 9, and it's where the abundance is just flowing. It's like you've helped these students. They're like they're your little vegetables. This whole garden has the tomatoes, there's lettuce and stuff. So carrots in her hand. So it's where you have cultivated this great students from all this body of students that have come into your courses. You've cultivated them, mentored them, help them to grow and be fantastic artists. So that is your message. That's lovely, because I haven't had a message like that before. And it's very interesting to me because it takes me back to, I was an art minor in school, so in college. So I'm thinking of all my all my art classes and the teachers, and this is just nice because they will go around and critique what you're doing. So out there in the collective, if you are a professor or in high school, I don't know, these days high schools have so many less types of course classes these days. So I don't know if there's still art there, but wherever you may be teaching, think of how you are helping them to grow and be their best. So now let's take a look at the crystal that will help. You know what I'm going to see? Help the crystal that will help the collective in understanding this message the best. So, Divine, what crystal will get that message across and help the collective in their work? And we have agate, and it says, get back into balance. Okay, I can't make this up. We have all these cards about balance. We have, where's this one? Then it was with the chariot. It's like all of this balancing that you're doing. And that's something that you have to keep in mind too. I feel like there's another one. No, it was just those. So you have, in the beginning, it was the chariot. So it's all about getting in balance. You want to make sure that you're balanced in what you're doing, that you are objective in your analysis, like your justice, and also bring them, because you're co-creating, you're creating. So you're like the high priestess, you're very close to the divine creates. So you want to balance that spiritual like connection that you get from creating a painting. You know, it's something that you are bringing to life. Your vision is put onto the canvas. Or in this case, this is the modern one where she was sitting at her desk using the computer, and that type of, like, she's a graphic artist. So that is your message for today. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, I'd be so thankful if you will click the like button, share the message so that others in the collective can get that reach, because I'm also trying to expand my channel, grow it just like these little flowers. And also subscribe to PYJynJoy so that you can know what's happening. Hit the notification bell, and I post pretty much every day. But if you would like to do something one-on-one, just go to PYJynJoy.com, PYJynJoy.com, and book your session. Until we see each other again, love, light, and joy.